pick up and I'm always on the good ones. Got this green on me, these haters trying to climb up on my woodlands. Damn, it's sunset already, swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast but I'm steady, I cook it up in the stew.
Oh my gosh, you're back. It is such a pleasure. Wow, it's just so lovely. I want to get right into this. Do you ever just spend hours on end, like so much time just trying to mask out certain things, trying to rotoscope certain objects, and it's such a, it's like you have so much to do, but you have to just do all this tedious work. Well, look, listen, I'm gonna help you so much. You're not gonna have to do that. I'm gonna have a series coming through where you're gonna learn how to make the most of your time when you're masking, how to make the most of your time when you're rotoscoping. And this tutorial is gonna be a great reference, even though it's just touching the tip of the iceberg. Alright, so you saw the mask transition, and today that's what we're gonna be looking at, how to do this mask into the next clip, and it's just a really smooth way of transitioning. It's something I implement in every single one of my edits, so I'm making a tutorial on it based on the requests because it's going to be super helpful to you guys. I want to jump right into this, so like this video and subscribe to my channel because this is very helpful material, so the more people that can see it, the better. And I also put a lot of effort into each of my uploads. If you want a sense of comfort to know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend you look at my other videos. And by the way, I hella appreciate the support that I've been provided from you guys. And so a lot of you know that I have a lot of music on all platforms, and it would mean the world to me if you check that out. My name is Shillarius on all music platforms. There are links in the description, so you might want to check that out because I think you'll enjoy it. Alright, let's start a new comp here. Alright, we got a chill 1920, 1080, 30 FPS composition here, okay? And, you know, the audio is totally up to you. Today, we're using Sunset as our song today, and this is one of the songs that was just released on my new music, on my EP, so, again, link is in the description if you want to hear that. So, let's look at the cinematics that we're using. We got this helicopter on the pad. Cool. Alright, cool. Let's just, drag in this little portion here. And what else do we got? We got this helicopter in the air. Alright, so when you're doing a transition like this, you want to make sure that your cinematics have like the motion that can connect. So we're kind of curving in from the right and zooming in through this window. The next cinematic that plays should have a similar motion to it. So let's look at this cinematic. Yeah, these don't quite work that well. This one's kind of zooming out when this one is zooming in, so it's just not really gonna work. So I'm just gonna Control-Alt-R to time reverse this, and then what I like to do is, in case I want to have effects inside of this footage and be able to time map that, I'm just gonna pre-compose this and move all attributes and adjust the composition based on the size. And I'm going to do that with this one, so I'm just going to go Control-Shift-C and click OK. Alright, great. So let's click LL and just mark the beat here that we want the transition to happen on.
Ready, swore the sky was just blue.
And we'll do the transition right here. So we want to have this first cinematic end on this marker, and then we're going to go a little earlier, and let's click Control-Alt-T. We are going to time map this, and let's see, so let's have it start like around here, and we'll go to the next keyframe, and we're going to go to this marker and just have it end right about here where it starts to get kind of blurry. Alright, cool. And then we're going to Control-Shift-D and just get rid of those sides. And then Alt left bracket here. Great, now let's select these and ease them with F9. And you want to make sure that this timer map is pretty on point, because once you start drawing your mask here, you're not going to have much lenience with adjusting the time. So you do want to make sure this is pretty on point.
Trying to climb up on my woodlands. Damn, it's sunset already, swore the sky was just blue.
Alright, that looks pretty good. Now let's go to this marker, and you want to give yourself quite a few frames here to have this cinematic play beforehand, because this cinematic isn't going to be fully seen, but it needs to still have space to work with here. So I'm gonna timer map this, and we have this kind of zoom in. here, and now we can easy use those. And same deal with these. Let's give it the motion.
Swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast, but I'm steady. I cook it up in the stew. Ooh, my
So I want to pan and crop this a little bit so that it's scaling up as it's coming up to this marker, because that's going to enhance the motion that we have. So I'm going to set 2 keyframes here and have this start to scale up, and I'm going to do it up to like probably around 140. And you know what, I'm just going to do a pan crop over the whole thing, and just I'm gonna have this scale up and then scale up a little bit more. And so if I easy use these, this is what my pan crop is gonna look like for this cinematic. So as this comes in, so as it approaches this marker, it's scaling up a little bit, and then at the end I just want it to scale up.
already. Swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast, but I'm steady. I cook it up in the stew. Ooh, my
So now we have it getting scaled up over time, but in the beginning and end it's a bit faster. And now we can pre-comp this and call it Hellion Air with PC, so with pan and crop. So now if we want to adjust the pan and crop, we can do it inside of this composition, because once we split this layer, we're not going to have much control over the transform properties of it. And you can do this on an adjustment layer, but I like to do it inside of its own composition so I can go back to it later pretty easily. Great, so this is the setup that we want. Once you're confident with your timer mapping and flow, we want this mask to start showing up. Let's just turn off this second layer for a second. We want the mask to start showing up right around here where this comes in. So I'm gonna split the clip here by clicking Ctrl-Shift-D, and I'm gonna duplicate this so that we have 2 of the same one. And just so that I'm a little more neat here, I'm gonna make this second cinematic have a blue color. And I'm going to rename this bottom one to no mask, and I'm going to rename this top one to mask. And you'll understand why I'm doing this. So for now I'm going to turn off this cinematic of the helicopter in the air. And I'm going to go to the top layer of this first cinematic called mask, where we split it. And I'm going to animate a mask on this window, and again you'll see why I'm doing it this way, where I have no mask on the bottom and mask on the top. So on this mask layer, let's just start. I'm going to start like somewhere in the middle where we have an easy frame to work with on the mask, and I'm just going to start, drawing a little mask here. So I'm going to click G, and I'm just toggling between G, H, and V, which are the shortcuts for pen tool, hand tool, and selection tool. And then great, so we have this first mask set up, and I'm going to click M and click mask path, and now we have a keyframe that we can animate over time. So before we try to mask this throughout the whole rest of the clip, let's just go to mask path here. Let's click on that and then click tracker, and then see if we can analyze this mask throughout the clip. Great, yeah, that let's try that again. Let's just delete those keyframes, and instead we're gonna go towards the end of the clip and put these points around here. Redraw the mask just a little bit bigger, and something like this. So now we have a bunch of space in between, and the benefit of doing it this way is now you don't have to go frame by frame to do it. You have a linear connection between these 2 keyframes, so you only have to make minor adjustments between those gaps. So if I just manipulate this mask a little bit throughout this space, then it'll be much easier to work with. Okay, great. I did that mask in about 5 minutes. I'm also just going to turn on my second cinematic. And so if I solo this mask layer, we have just this cutout portion, and we want to put that to subtract, so it's kind of like a green screen area where we can put anything behind that. And that's why we have this no mask cinematic below it. So if I solo that with it, it looks normal. So if we put something in between these, just make a little sandwich there, you'll see what I mean. Now I can have this helicopter in the air cinematic come up under this mask, and then I'm just going to click T on that and fade it in. So I'm going to start it at 0 and then just keyframe it in from 100, and now you see how it's starting to work. See, if I take out this no mask, then I'm left with this black space, and that's why we want that there. I'm going to click on this mask and click F and just bring it up couple pixels so I can hide all my insecurity. So I can just hide this mask here. So once we have this helicopter in the air cinematic full opacity, we don't need the rest of this no mask cinematic. So we can just cut that out and trim it. Great. Now we basically just flow into the next one. And if we fit this up, we can see what's going on. So if we go right on this cut here, it just kind of disappears. So we want to work our way around that so it looks a bit smoother. So I'm going to go like a few frames before and go on this mask cinematic and add blur-mo curves. And I'm going to set keyframes for all of these. And this is just the same as transform. I think it just blurs it in a nice way. So I'm going to go one frame before, and I just want to zoom it in and kind of work my way through this window. So that's looking pretty good. And great, and I'll drag that towards the end and F9 all of those keyframes and go into the speed graph and drag that all the way to the right. And now it's flowing really nicely into this next clip.
Already, swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast.
And great, that's hella smooth. That's pretty much it. We're just gonna add Control-Alt-Y real quick to add an adjustment layer and look up a lens blur. And if you have my preset pack, this is even faster. So kind of in the descriptions of my videos. I'm gonna click U, and we just want this to blur up to a few pixels at this transition and spread out those keyframes. Just trim off the ends, and we always label our layers. So I'm gonna rename this to lens blur. Yes sir. Let's just select these, open up the value graph, and kind of mess with this a little bit more. We want something like this. So we got that gradual.
The sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast, but I'm steady. I could.
And damn, that's the main gist of it. With the way that we've pre-comped these layers, I can just color correct each clip individually without worrying about the fact that they're split up. You just open up this comp and then add whatever color correction you're using, and then you're done. So I went ahead and color corrected this, and I'm going to do that with another cinematic. And if you really want to step up your color game, like get that hella professional look that you're seeking, I have a very in-depth tutorial on color correction, color grading, how to do both of them and what their differences are. So check that out because it's very helpful. Some fundamentals in there. So now I have both cinematics color corrected, and now when I add my color grade on top of this, it'll look very smooth.
Swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast, but I'm steady.
I'm gonna adjust this opacity so it starts a bit later.
Swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast, but I'm steady. I cook it up in the stew. Oh my.
And again, since this is pre-comped, we can adjust this pan and crop a little more. So I might want to add some rotation, for example, or maybe a little bit of positioning. I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply my subtle shake preset from my editing pack that you probably have. So that's going to give us a little bit of movement that will enhance this transition even a little bit more.
Swore the sky was just blue. Yeah, I'm fast.
And in this composition we can also add 3D text or elements of any sort, and it'll still work with the time map and the mask itself. And that is it. That is the masking transition. That is how to get hella smooth, buttery, just beautiful transitions and flow on your montages, edits. It's a nice effect. It's very clean to look at, so I hope you enjoy it. Again, make sure you don't forget to like this video and that you don't forget to subscribe. It means a lot. And again, my Instagram, Twitter, Spotify, Discord server, all of that is in the description. Don't forget to check out my links. And what a pleasure. I appreciate all of the support. If you're watching this, I love you. If you've made it this far, I love you. Thank you. I'll catch you soon. Peace out.